top 5 crypto to buy or look into for July 2023. Keep in mind, these are just 5 crypto I'm bullish on. There's many crypto out there, but I think these are definitely strong buys for me for the upcoming month in July. And I think they're going to net some pretty good multipliers. Let's kick it off with number 1. And this is in no particular order, by the way. But number 1 is going to be Kaspa. Price just above 2.5 cents. Market cap is just over 500 million. 19.4 billion out of their 28.7 billion coins in circulation. It's been pumping. When you check the chart, the old chart and the 1-year chart are the same because it's only been launched, at least to the public, about a year ago. July will be a year. Even though the project itself was around for 2 years, I believe. Someone told me that in my last video on Kaspa. But if you look at the chart, it's been literally just pumping. At one point it was in a 3-0 range, then less than a penny. I started buying it when it was at a penny and a half, and then I rode it all the way up to 2.5 pennies. I'm still actively DCAing into it. If you want to know when I'm actively buying it, feel free to join my Patreon and Discord. I post my buy alerts there. The link will be in the description for that. It did reach an all-time high of 4 cents, just over 4 cents, and that was back in April, on April Fool's Day. So that was pretty good to see. And right now, it looks like it's going to break 3 cents again. And this is a crypto I'm extremely bullish on. It actually is probably one of my most bullish cryptos right now in the entire crypto market. And that's saying a lot because, you guys know I'm invested into many different cryptos, but Kaspa is a new one I just got into. And my conviction just grows more and more for this crypto every single day. It's got Bitcoin's fundamentals intact. It's a proof of work consensus block DAG with tech that is scalable than most. And that's saying a lot because to have Bitcoin's fundamentals, but be a layer 1 block DAG that can scale and be a payment-to-payment, peer-to-peer, it's taken the reins from Bitcoin. And that is why I've been calling it Bitcoin 2.0. Bitcoin was created at first to be a peer-to-peer payment, but because it's slow and takes a considerable amount of time to send Bitcoin anywhere in the world, that's why Bitcoin failed at being a peer-to-peer and is now moved into a store of value or a digital gold, if you will. And Kaspa is now going to be that crypto to do what Bitcoin was originally created to do. And the guy behind this is a really well-known engineer, Jonathan Sampolinsky. His work speaks for itself. He's in Ethereum's white paper. I think the block DAG tech is going to get a lot more exposure and eyes on it this bull cycle. If you check CoinMarketCap, at least in the last few days, it was trending in the top 5. Even though it's not talked about too much on YouTube, just because it's trending on CoinMarketCap, I wouldn't really trust that. I think a lot of people are silently accumulating Kaspa on the low, and they just don't want to tell you for whatever reason. I mean, this market is shady to begin with. You're going to see a lot of crap spewed in this market, but, just make sure you do your research. Don't just take what I say or anyone says. Always do your own research. The confidence comes from your own research. If you just buy any of these cryptos based on what I say or someone else says, you can get shaken out very easily because all it takes is someone else out there to say, hey, your crypto's bad. You're going to be shaken out very easily because you don't have that backbone of research to, back up your confidence. So you got to be very confident in what you're investing and holding. And that confidence comes from experience, for one, and two, your continuous research into what you're investing. Remember, guys, even though I'm invested into all 5 of these crypto I'm covering today, the research never stops. I'm always researching these crypto, always staying up to date. That is how you make money in this space. You have to stay up to date. You got to follow some of the trends. Sometimes something good comes out. Sometimes something bad comes out, and you got to act accordingly. But Kaspa, to me, even though it's a small cap now, and some people are saying, oh, I missed the bottom when it was below a penny, I see this crypto really ballooning up this bull cycle. I'm talking like $1 plus, and I'm very conservative in general. So going from 2-3 cents to $1, that's a very good ROI. And I think Kaspa being proof of work is SEC resistant. In other words, a commodity like Bitcoin. And I think once we start seeing these big YouTubers start talking about it, you're going to see massive FOMO kick in for Kaspa. And the tokenomics aren't bad either. 67% in circulation. It has some inflation, yes, but it has any emission schedules. So the inflation is expected. And it's not as high as many people make it out to be. I think Kaspa is going to do very well. So the chart speaks for itself. It just keeps going up, reaching higher lows, higher highs. And I think at some point, it's going to reach a new all-time high, and you're going to see the FOMO truly kick in. Number 2, Quant, QNT, priced at $105. Recently partnered with the Bank of England. Been making pretty good moves. The selling pressure I noticed has been a little greater than normal for Quant. I think some whales were selling quant or taking profits, whatever the case may be. I was telling my Discord members because some of them were concerned about this. Listen, quant in the last bear market over 6x. It went from $40 in June to $227 in October of that same year. It went to 227 down to like 120. And even though right now at Bitcoin's current price, it should be around 120, now you're seeing a little bit of a sell-off for quant. But even while seeing that sell-off, it's still holding above $100. And the market cap is 1.3 billion. So for a market cap of this size, you would expect quant to be a lot further down from the all-time high. And the all-time high was over $400. It's only a 4x from the all-time high. If you check the chart, look at the chart, right? You click the all category, 428 September of 2021, which is kind of close to when Bitcoin hit 69K in November. And then it comes down to right here in June, $40, and then it goes up to October, 227. And then this looks like a healthy consolidation period. You know, it dipped down. You know, I think at some point the market just got to it. There was too much FUD going on in the market. And a lot of people are starting to call quant now a bad investment because they're so used to seeing the price move up that now when they see it coming down to this price level, they're like, oh my God, what's going on? Quant is making all the right moves. Yes, they're working with CBDCs. And listen, if you are a true crypto enthusiast at heart and you want to stay away because you hate CBDCs, totally fine. But I'm just trying to make money. I really don't care where that money is coming from. And I said that in my last video about quant. So I'm investing into the quant for the long term. And I've been investing into it all the way down to 40, back up to the hundreds. I am very bullish on quant. Its scarcity speaks for itself. A little over 14 million total supply, which has 81% in circulation. And the last bear market alone, quant was very hard to accumulate on exchanges because they were running out of quant. And I do believe we're going to see a lot more FOMO kicking for this crypto as well. Quant, in my opinion, right now has no direct competition with interoperability. It does have Polkadot, yes. It does have Cosmos, but they're the enterprise over ledger, which they just launched. It's so hard to compete with their over ledger when they're working with so many powerhouses and they have all these connections in the space. Connections do matter, guys. Just like marketing does matter. We've seen some companies that have poor marketing, poor connections, not do very well despite having good fundamentals in tech. And then we've seen some shitty ass companies that would have good connections, good marketing, and they just balloon up. You know, so it really comes down to marketing connections as well as having a finished product, a good team, a growing ecosystem. You know, you want to see all these things in your crypto. I see $100, $105 as a massive buy for this month. But this is just my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever you want to do. I understand you're going to see more shakeouts happen. A lot of people get shaken out during this time. We've seen it in the last cycle as well. This is why I keep urging you guys to get that confidence. Keep researching your cryptos. If by all means you lose conviction, totally fine. You move on to what you feel better in, what you believe in, right? But quant, to me, my conviction has not changed. I think they're going to speak for itself very soon. And I think this bull cycle, we're going to see a true supply shock take effect, and we're going to see quant absolutely rip it. Number 3, HBAR. Right now it's below 5 cents. And the common trend in the crypto market, just like stocks, is that when companies go down in price, people usually sell and not buy. I mean, if you look at the statistics, 80% of people don't make money in this space, and only 20% actually make money. And then an even smaller percentage at 20% become whales and make a ton of money. HBAR right now, below 5 cents, had an all-time high of around 50 cents. And I said it before, you know, their Hashgraph tech is one I'm very bullish on. I like their gossip protocol to disseminate information between nodes. They've never been forked. You know, their Hashgraph tech, the way it's set up, it's all in a randomized manner. So they can truly be scalable while also having this fixed fee structure that I mentioned is so important. Their fixed fee of just 1/10 of a penny is all despite the volume on their ledger. You know, and it doesn't matter what the price of HBAR is. It can be 5 cents, $5, 50 cents. It's always going to be 1/10 of a penny. And that's why you see their governing council growing. I think they're up to 28 members. You know, they have big companies, Google, IBM, Boeing, Dell, to name a handful, different banks. Like, they have a ton of people on their governing council that are backing Hedera HBAR. And if they truly become the go-to enterprise ledger, you're going to see it balloon up. It's not going to be 5 cents with that kind of enterprise adoption. This is why I'm very bullish on Hedera HBAR. I'm trying to follow where the money is going. You know, they recently hit a 6 billion transaction milestone. That's amazing. They got listed on Coinbase in a bear market, so the chart doesn't reflect the pump it should have had. And it's also newer tech. the first of its kind. So I think it's also being delayed because people don't trust it yet or don't want to see it come into the market. I understand blockchain. There's a huge draw to blockchain, and rightfully so. Blockchain's been around for a long time. When Ethereum came out in 2011 or so, blockchain is here to stay. Not discounting that whatsoever. But we've seen blockchains not be perfect in this space. We've seen blockchains like Cardano that get forked. We've seen blockchains like Ethereum that are slower because they don't have the scalability yet. And we've seen blockchains that have gotten shut down like Solana. So we haven't seen blockchains yet that are battle tested to be scalable, be decentralized, and be secure at the same time, solving a trilemma. So Hashgraph Tech, and I understand Hedera is not the most decentralized. 28 on the governing council is not a huge number, but some people confuse that and say, oh, it's 28 people. It's 28 massive companies with trillions of dollars of market cap. Each company in of itself probably has at least 10 people on their board. They're not just one person representing like Google or one person representing IBM or one person representing Boeing and saying, yeah, we're going to vote for HBAR to have 1 trillion coins. Yes, they can do that, but it's 28 companies and they all got to be on board with making decisions for Hedera HBAR. So I wanted to clear that up because I do get that misconception a lot that they're too centralized because there's 28 people, and that's not the case. 28 companies, okay? And their fixed fee structure is something you cannot ignore. Like, yes, there's other blockchains that have cheap fees, but when you increase the volume with them, they get considerably more expensive. And from a business to business standpoint, they want to maximize their profits and cut back on their expenses as much as possible. So if they want to transact at a high volume, they're going to go to a ledger that can get them the most bang for their buck. And that is where Hedera HBAR separates itself from the pack because the fees are predictable, they're fixed and cheap, and their tech is infinitely scalable. Their tech is truly amazing. And I said it before and I'll say it again. They do not have to beat blockchain to succeed. They do not. They can coexist. We've seen multiple techs exist in this market. There's no reason why Hashgraph Tech can not only coexist, but thrive in this market with blockchain. And I think HBAR is going to surprise many people this bull cycle. Number 4, Cardano or ADA, priced at 27 cents. All-time high previously was over $3. It's down a little more than 10x. They recently got attacked by the SEC, like many other cryptos, saying they're a security, so on and so forth. So a lot of people sold, and it reflects the holding time, at least here on Coinbase. It used to be over 200 days. Now it's down to 89 days, 9.6 billion market cap. That being said, there's a lot of reasons why I like Cardano. And a big reason, obviously, is Charles, the guy who co-founded Ethereum. I think he's an amazing influencer for this space, a genius, and I think he really knows what he's doing when it comes to Cardano. You know, something that separates Cardano from many cryptos is that it's the most decentralized proof-of-stake crypto out there. And I like that a lot because they're trying to do what proof of work provides, which is decentralization and secure, which Cardano has 100%. It is the most decentralized and secure proof of stake crypto out there. I think Ethereum comes close to security, but it's more decentralized than Ethereum. And that's where Cardano prides itself on, being a perfectionist type crypto, but never been hacked and truly secure and decentralized. And their TPS is a little faster than Ethereum. They have 250 transactions per second. So if Charles somehow makes Cardano more scalable, the question is going to lie. Can Cardano solve the trilemma with a proof-of-stake consensus? That's definitely a question to have in the future. And I love that Charles is trying to do it because he's trying to appease the people that want to see proof-of-stake cryptos exist. You know, a lot of the big politicians and influencers, they hate on proof-of-work a lot. They call it energy intensive. They say it's not fast, it hurts the environment, so on and so forth. All overly exaggerated narratives, in my opinion. But Cardano being a proof of stake, it knocks all those narratives out the door. And now being decentralized and secure and having a 250 transaction per second speed while having these fundamentals intact, that to me separates it from a lot of layer ones that do not have all this going for it. Some layer ones are scalable, but really lacking decentralization and security. So Cardano really has a shot if they somehow become more scalable to say they solve the trilemma. And if they do this while being a proof of stake crypto, that would be huge. And something I want to bring up too, they had their ICO in Japan. And if they ever get called a security, you're going to see every single proof of stake crypto get called a security, you know, because every crypto that had an ICO is at risk, yes, which makes Cardano more of a risk than other cryptos. But I think that claim personally by the SEC is going to be unfounded. I think he was just targeting Cardano because there's a large community behind it. Obviously you do what's best for you. If you feel like it will be called security someday and you're truly scared and you want to stay away from Cardano, nothing wrong with that. You do what's best for you. Just because I am bullish on a crypto does not mean I'm going to call you stupid or say you're making the wrong decision. I am not like that. I'll never be like that. I'm very transparent with what I like in my portfolio, but I'm also very honest when it comes to telling you guys what to do, what's best for you. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. This is just me telling you what I would do if I was in your shoes. If you feel a certain way about any crypto, whether it's good or bad, act on what you feel, but make sure you're using logic and not emotion before you do it. Okay. So Cardano to me, 27 cents, down over 10x. I think it's suppressed more than it should be, and I think it's going to reach a new all-time high. Especially if Ripple wins their case with the SEC, you're going to see the chains come off for every single crypto that got called a security, because XRP is going to be the new crypto where everyone emulates to not be deemed a security if they win. Now, if they do lose the case and they go after Cardano next, then you're going to see some suppression with Cardano. So it is a risk. I'm not going to tell you guys just going to the moon. It is a risk. But if they lose that case, we're going to see Cardano rebound like that. And then I will not be surprised if it reaches $4 or $5 or more dollars next bull cycle. Number 5, Polygon or Matic, also suppressed like Cardano, price at 62 cents, also got called a security. I think they had a beautiful reply to them on Twitter saying how they're developing, growing, and how they're not security, they'll fight back. Definitely like seeing that in a company. All-time high was almost $3. It's only down like a little more than a 3x. Man, I wish I caught it at a penny. I know a few people who did. You've seen it pump twice, come down, consolidate, rise up in a bear market. It went from like 32 cents to over $1. I think it was $1.50, something like that. A 5x, and then it went down, consolidated, and then it dipped down because the SEC called them a security, and a lot of people panic sold Polygon just like the other cryptos. 5.8 billion market cap, 9.3 billion, or 93% of their total supply is in circulation, so pretty much non-existent inflation. Yes, this is a large cap, or you might even put it into a mid cap now with the suppression in price, but it is a fully diluted market cap, so the inflation is pretty much non-existent. Polygon Matic to me is the only layer 2 that acts like a layer 1. They keep building in their ecosystem. The transactions just increase because people are using Polygon as the express lane layer 2, the scaling solution for Ethereum. So when Ethereum grows even further and it appreciates in price, which it definitely will, you're going to see their fees also increase as well. And although the fee increase might not impact institutional investors who don't care and have tons of money, it's going to impact retail, especially those who want to get back into NFTs or just want to transact on the blockchain. So Polygon, while Ethereum continues to have this fee issue, is going to get more exposure, more adoption, and more usage. And when you think of more volume, more adoption, and more usage, I think of massive upside price potential. And Polygon, I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum 5x's in this bear market. I wouldn't be surprised if Polygon minimum 20x's. So Polygon is going to outpace Ethereum. Ethereum is going to be massively deflationary this bull cycle, which is going to draw a lot of FOMO to Ethereum. And just the exposure to Ethereum is going to have more eyes on Polygon, being the top layer 2 for a reason to the best layer 1 that we currently have in this space. And right now in July, I think this is a great month to be looking at Polygon because it's still suppressed from the SEC. Like Cardano, like XRP, if they lose the case to Ripple, which also makes Polygon a higher risk because you got to have that risk in mind, right? If they lose that case, just like Cardano, you're going to see Polygon, the chains come off, and it's going to rocket ship again. Just on that news alone, it'll probably get above $1 at that point. And then when you're talking about the appreciation of Polygon, the growing ecosystem, their partnership, Disney was a great one that I loved a lot. They're making a lot of good partnerships. Their marketing is also top notch. I would not be surprised if Polygon absolutely blows up and surprises the majority of investors. One concern I got was someone said that Polygon, the whales hold 90% of the supply. I did see that on CoinCarp. I just want to pull it up here. You always want to take into consideration who's holding your crypto. Check out the top 100, how many whales are holding it. And yes, I definitely agree that is a risk, but let's just see what it says here. So yes, it says top 100 holders hold 86% of the supply. So that is a risk. You do got to take that into consideration. Obviously, if you want to stay away for that reason, totally get it. But Polygon, to me, I'm still very bullish on it. I wouldn't go super heavy into it because it is a risk with that large holding allocation to the whales and also being potentially pursued by the SEC. But you got to have some risk in this game, guys. Like, yes, there's many altcoins that are going to go to zero at some point. There's many that are going to moon this bull cycle. But if you take advantage of these big discounts on cryptos that I consider blue chips, that are battle tested, had a bull cycle, and are continuously growing, actively growing, and setting themselves up for a new all-time high, which I know is not guaranteed, but I do believe these cryptos are going to rip it. This is where you got to start looking and researching these cryptos. So these are my top 5 crypto that I think you should look into for July 2023. Do you hold any of these 5? And if so, which one of these right now are you most bullish on for this bull cycle? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Really helps so much. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.